On my way home, I wanted to do this video an hour and a half ago, and people calling and talking about a number of things. A lot of buzz with these new horses in the barn. Excited about Haunted House, and I talked to Ron Burke about JK Victory Tag. Remember, he trained him all last year. So I wanted, you think I'm busy. I don't ever want to call Ronnie just to, shoot the shit. Hey, what's up, Ronnie? He's busy all the time, and is a million people that call him, and I wanted to call him yesterday and ask about Ready for Landing's brother. I'm glad I didn't, because we would have bought him. He said, he could go. He said, honestly, Anthony, he could go 150 in a straight line. He just can't get around the turns. And I was like, oh, as a trainer, and Ron's a sharp guy, so it's not like you're like, oh, I'll just take the horse off Ron Burke. It doesn't work that way. But when it comes to the mechanics of tinkering with trotters, I would take a shot on a horse like that. So we're just so busy right now. Ultimately, it comes down to this. We have a number of 3-year-olds getting ready to race. Do I need a 3-year-old project? I'm back and forth all the time. I'm stretched pretty thin. This is the thinnest my time has ever been in a year. I've always been able to just stop and take a chunk of my time and go do something, right? And this year it's just been very difficult to find that chunk of time. So in that regard, I'm glad that we didn't buy him, because I know I would have been enticed to buy him, hearing him say that before the sale. That conversation came up as we were talking about JK Victory, and he said, and I was happy to hear him say this too. He said, we were going to buy him. Obviously, we were offered the horse. He trained the horse last year, and it came down to this. He gets around a 7/8 grade. He doesn't get around a 5/8 grade, but he'll go around it in a half. Kind of seemed like it sucked the life out of him last year when they raced him at Northfield Park. And I said, well, that's fine. We bought him to race in, we bought him to race at Mohawk. And he goes, perfect place for him. He said, you will love this horse. He said, he can fly, and he's only going to get better. It's just for Ron, for him, there's no Mohawk, right? Mohawk's not really in the equation. It's either Yonkers is where they do a lot of their work, the Poconos, Philadelphia, all 5/8s. He said, no, he's a big track horse. So a little different look at things. They aren't that interested in the horses that can't get around a 5/8, because they do a lot of their work on the 5/8s. So that was an interesting take. I never thought of that. He loved the horse, so he said, no, he's really a really, really nice horse. So, and he could have said, yeah, he's okay. And Ronnie's really dry like that. Like, he'll tell you, he's okay. But he had nothing but praise for the horse, so I was really happy with that. So as I said, the buzz in the barn, obviously. Again, I've been watching the shares dwindle. Now, there are going to be another 6 shares hit the market for, I think 6, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 7. Just anytime, you guys know by now, if you've done business with us, my biggest fear, and the thing that really kind of makes me feel like a bit of a tool, is when somebody will message me and say, hey, I sent you an email after you sent that email out. Did I get a share of the horse? And I missed it. I made a mistake and missed the email or the text message, and then I just feel horrible. And that's too bright. Then I just feel horrible. So I usually, what I'll do is I'll keep 6 or 7 shares back, just in case there's been a barrage of people saying, can I have a share? Can I have a share? I'd like 2 shares. I'd like 3 shares. That way I feel in my heart that I haven't missed anybody. And if I did, I just got a little bit of a cushion. So that cushion will be unveiled tonight. I think, I said an hour ago, we were down to 3 or 4 shares. That cushion will be out, and I appreciate everybody buying the horse up. I did kind of stretch myself here with this guy. I didn't have him all sold, and I didn't want to start reaching out to people on stake payment day to say, hey, bought another horse, what do you think? I just felt that this was a horse that would do us some good for a number of reasons, and I felt that was the right number for him on that given day. So for the people that got involved, that's great. Thank you very much. I believe the plan will be to pick the horse up, take him right to Stacy and Brett's. They'll probably race him in an overnight race or something leading up to the stake race on the 16th. I don't know where he fits. Maybe number 6, I suppose. So happy with that. Now, I want to get down to business about today. Very happy. I did a video for you about what took place this morning and getting over to the Meadows. Now, I raced HB Maestro. I wasn't disappointed with HB Maestro. That's what he can do. In fact, I was disappointed with myself. You know, we should have this horse in a better place. He fits the class that Stonebridge Acadi raced. There's no reason we can't put this horse in for 30. None at all. And for him to race in the class he did today, it's not Tim's fault. Again, you're in a position where, it's kind of the class, but it's not really the class. The thing that's troubling to me about HB Maestro is that, you know, he'll come 29 and a piece, 30 seconds on the end, but not show any blood or mucus, not show any tie-up. So there's only a few other things that can be the number one after watching him race, after watching him warm up. I have to wonder if his feet bother him a little bit. And then again, as we were talking about those secondary issues, if in fact his feet bother him, what does that lead to? How's his back? How's his lower hocks? Are they bothering him? I don't know. I talked to Tim briefly about it. We talked back and forth, and you know, Tim always has the horse ready to go, but it may just be that he can't trot 54 in the mud. He wasn't bought to do that. He was bought to beat Stonebridge Acadi, not those horses. So I think Tim said the class he's supposed to be in is a little bit softer, and it draws tomorrow for Wednesday. If it doesn't fill, we'll bring him back to Northfield Park. He may have to wait 1 week, and then we can start racing him full-time. Stonebridge Acadi is going to be going to the Non-Winners of 4 series at Miami Valley, and then we can slide Blue Tesla and HB Maestro in there. You might sound those two names together in current form on their name and say, whoa, Blue Tesla, has she been good enough? She schooled yesterday in 58 on a very, very windy day. Truthfully speaking, and obviously I'm biased, it's been a while since I said, wow, did she ever look good? She felt great yesterday. She felt like a 56 trotter yesterday. That's what she felt like. So I was very, very happy with what I saw from Blue Tesla. Even especially more, because I know she was tied up. By tied up, I mean that muscle count was still high. Her CK was down low, but that residual muscle count absolutely still had to be up in, had to be 3,000-4,000 minimum for her to go out and go that mile with that, in that wind, with that muscle count. That was a big mile for her. That was an impressive trip. Mario was right. She doesn't need the hobbles. She busted right around there, no problem whatsoever. Got a little out of gear in the last turn. I can see why. She ran down a little bit. We can fix that today. But still, even when she got out of gear, I just had to gather her up, and away we go again. She was great. So very impressed with Blue Tesla yesterday. And HB Maestro, just asking too much of the horse. It's not his fault. I said, you know, if I leave out of there, I might be able to put Dave in a bad spot. It looked like Ronnie's horse was the one to beat, right? It's pretty clear. But how can I get in between those two? And at that time, I'm thinking if I follow the one, I can be second. Never dawned on me I'd be beaten fifth. 56 in the mud. It's not a bad mile. The day we bought him, if you would have said, hey, Source will trot 55, 56 in the mud at the Meadows, absolutely, sign me up. We would have been on top of that immediately. We're just asking too much of the horse. It needs to be in that class that Stonebridge Acadi was at. I think it was Greg that brought that up last week. I didn't realize actually there was a non-winners of 7 tag on there. So he does fit it for a start, and then we can do whatever we want with him. I mean, the horse is a nice horse. Just here's what we're not going to do with him. We're not going to race him over his head anymore. That's what we're not going to do with him. So that's where we're at with HP Maestro. I think he's, I don't mean to be rude, but he's a better horse than Stonebridge Acadi. There's no two ways about that. Will he be in a month or 6 weeks? I don't know, but has been, is right now a better horse than Stonebridge Acadi. So to think that Stonebridge Acadi won that class last night, I don't think it's a far stretch down that road to think that HB Maestro would probably win that class also. So that's where we're at with those horses. Getting ready to watch Atlas Hanover race. Getting ready to watch Dustin Hanover race. So that should be a lot of fun tonight. Jim King's birthday, I saw today. I wished him a happy birthday. And interested to see what Atlas is going to do. Talked to a number of clients. It was funny because before I did this video, this one. Before I did this video, I had talked to a couple of clients, and I'll be honest, I'll float it, a year, 11 months in advance. if there's an appetite for our clients to go away as a group, I'm sure we can facilitate that in any way. I don't know why I was surprised, but I was, since I blurted that out in a video and then wrote it in an email. I've had like 9 or 10 clients say, "Hey, I'd love to go away for a week, as a stable get together." Really, that's the biggest draw of the stable. That's who we are, is that we're a community now, and I think it would be fun. I would love nothing more than go spend a week with clients of ours. I think that would be fun. Anyway, babies went good this week. The ones I had concerns with yesterday went again today. Some conclusions were made. 1, Vaquero Blue Chip is going to be gelding. 2, Widespread Panic just needs a shoeing change. The rest of the horses all did their work very, very well. I was very happy with them. The 3-year-olds we went with today are well on their way, are getting to the races. Impressed. Full heart, look good. As I said, the scavengers out there picking up those little shares that people are dropping off. You might be rewarded this summer. Now, it's only one trip that I've seen her in months. That was a good mile from her. Columbus also looked pretty good today. Oh my gosh, was decent. And Austral Hanover was very good, and even High Enterprise. Got to work on that throat. She just made a little noise. As I said to Brody, when we train horses, you guys may have noticed by now, it is nose to helmet. We are right on top of each other, and that's how I want our horses trained. I don't want any room in between them. I want them nose to helmet all the time. And when you get close to somebody, your first instinct is to grab a hold of the horse and hold on to it, and that's when you can choke them sometimes, right? Our horses need to learn to roll up on top of the horse in front of them, on top of the guy's back in front of them, and relax. If you ever watch Aki Svensted's horses train like that, they're all nose to helmet all the time. That's how I was taught, and that's how I want them done all the time. And I think High Enterprise, if you just let her roll up onto the horse in front of her, onto the guy's back in front of her, and let her sit, she'll be fine. But I think Brody just had a little strong hold of her today, and she got made a little noise. But as I said, this is all stuff that can be rectified on the way to the races. Most importantly was how they looked today, and they looked good. So I was very, very impressed in that regard. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Excited. I talked to Verlin Yoder on the phone. Really cool guy. Maybe a feather in our cap also, because he bought a farm in a place called Columbia, Kentucky, and he's under 2 hours from Corbin, Lexington, and Oak Grove. Now, I will tell everybody right now, I haven't talked much about it, but I plan on having a stable of horses at Oak Grove when it opens. An entire stable. So 8 to 12 horses. Some are going to be racing in stakes. Some are going to be racing in overnights. I think this will be a great place for us. That is a nice track to race on. And I can think of 3 or 4 horses that would really benefit from being at Oak Grove. We have some 2-year-olds that are going to race at Oak Grove this year again, I'm sure. We have some 3-year-olds that may make an appearance there also. So I think we have a reason to be at Oak Grove. And hey, you never know when you're going to meet somebody that's going to be able to play a role in what we're doing moving forward. And Verlin Yoder's farm, at the very least, might be a very opportunistic place to be. So with that, now you're completely informed of what took place all afternoon. A 5th with HP Maestro, but make no mistake, it wasn't the horse's fault. It wasn't even my fault today. We both did everything right. Just can't trot in 54 in the mud, so we'll find the proper class for him and make sure he's in the proper class. And that's not a dig on anybody. And that's not me, quietly saying, "Oh, Tim put him in the wrong class." No, he didn't. Put him exactly where he's supposed to go. That class is just really, really salty. Sometimes you're going to find classes that are easy, and sometimes in other places are going to be really tough. That's a tough class right now. Those 2 horses of Burke's, that horse run and still finish second in 54. No, thank you. Somebody else can race those 2 horses. We'll find a softer spot for HP Maestro. So live and learn. Now we know, and we'll have a better spot for HP Maestro next time. He may get in the softer class Wednesday at the Meadows, or he may come back to Northfield and race. We have some horses that are going to be racing at the Meadows. A series is coming up for Sister Solange and for Dustin Hanover, actually, also. So there's 2 horses that might be going over there. I don't think that Merchant Man will be ready in time. We'll see. I'm not sure about that either. I think there's 2 other ones also. But enough blabbering. I'm going to let you guys go. Good luck to everybody tonight. Good luck to the Atlas Hanover group. Good luck to the Dustin Hanover group. I'll be watching both very, very closely.